Hello and welcome to Merciful Love. My name is Mercy. If you're new here, in this channel we talk about inner healing, we talk about our journeys, we share about, the challenging things we've gone through and ways to deal with them. So today I wanted to talk about lowering our expectations, because one of the things that I noticed personally that would cause me to be hurt is expecting people to behave in a certain way, or expecting people to do what I will do in a situation. And when they did not measure up, or they did not show up according to my expectations, I will be disappointed. And sometimes I've ended friendships, I've ended relationships because of that. It's okay sometimes to have expectations, but at the end of the day you'll end up hurting yourself, because we know, like in this channel, we already know one thing has already been established, that you cannot change other people, and expectations is trying to make other people behave the way we want them to behave, which is basically trying to change them. So we need to get that out of the way. You cannot change other people. You cannot change how people behave or how people, live. So to protect ourselves, or to prevent ourselves from being hurt, one of the things that I came to learn is to not have expectations of anyone, absolutely anyone. Because I used to have such high, because I used to expect people to respond or to act the way I would act in a situation. And when they didn't, I will be so offended or so hurt, and I will sometimes just end a relationship because of that. But at the end of the day, that person is just responding to a situation according to their life experience, according to maybe how they've been brought up, according to their desires, according to their selfishness, according to their knowledge, And we come from different backgrounds, and the truth is that our backgrounds and our life experiences dictate how we respond to situations. We are our lives experiences. We are what we have gone through. We have gone through dictates how we, most of the time, we respond to life and life situations. And since we come from different backgrounds, we cannot respond to a situation the same way. Even two people brought up in the same house from the same womb, they cannot respond to a situation the same way. Because the truth is that despite the fact that you think you have the same parents, you actually do not have the same parents. Because when your parents had the first child, they probably did not have an experience with a child before. And the way they handle the first child is different from the way they handle the second child. So the second child experiences a different kind of parenting from the first child. So you guys do not have the same parents. The way a parent treats maybe the last born is very different from the way the middle child is treated. So you cannot say that you guys have the same parent. I know it's strange, I know it's weird, but just think about it. Think about it. The first time they had a child, the experience was different. The knowledge was different. Maybe their situation, their financial situation was different. What they knew about bringing up children was different. Then they got the second child. With the knowledge that they got from the first child, they are a different person. So how they handle this second child is different. So the experience of this second child is different from the experience of the first child. And, it changes as the siblings continue to, they get more children. So you cannot say that, we had the same parents, why is one kid different and the other kid different? They were both brought up in the same home. No. They might have been brought up in the same house, the building, but their experiences are very different. Very, very different. So you cannot expect a person to respond to a situation the way you would, despite the fact they are your brother or your sister. They cannot respond to a situation the same way you would, because you experienced a different mother, you experienced a different father, you experienced a different environment. When the first child was there was no competition, it was only them, there were no other kids. The second child comes, then the first child sometimes they are forgotten, and then the attention is taken to the second child, the third child, and the sequence continues. So the experiences, you might be living in the same building, but the experiences inside that building, very, very different. You ask a person, a certain situation happens, you ask one person their experience, totally different from the other person. So for you to expect someone to respond or to react to a situation the same way, while you have come from the same womb, you have grown up in the same house, it's unreasonable, it's unrealistic. It's not factual, it cannot work. So if we cannot expect people who we have grown up together in the same house to respond to a situation the way we would, how else about another person who you do not know about? Someone shares their experience in social media, and then you go there with your opinions, expecting them to react the way you would have reacted. You do not know this person, you do not know their experiences. So how do you expect them to respond to you the way you would? How do you expect them to respond to a situation the way you would, while they have life experiences which dictate how they respond, and these life experiences you do not know about? Don't you see that's unrealistic? So I'm just raising these issues because there's a lot of responses and comments that people share or people just give out of ignorance, and they even have the courage and the audacity to try and demean and disrespect and shame a person because of the choices that they have made, while you do not have the backstory. Because the way you are responding to a certain situation is because of what you've gone through, what you've been taught, what you've learned, what you've copied. The other person has not gone through the same way. And who says your way is the perfect way? We are all here to learn. We are all here to have unique experiences. Why do you want us all to respond the same way to a situation? You know that now that's what leads us to having a herd mentality. Like if everyone is going to the left, we should all go to the left. But that's not how the world works. And we should be more loving, more compassionate, and allow people to live their lives and live their experiences. There's a way you can guide someone. There's a way you can tell someone, offer a different view of a certain situation. But most of the time, people are just bashing, abusing, and forcing people to respond to a situation in a certain way, disregarding and making that person feel insignificant just because they shared they responded to a situation differently to how you would have. And I think that is unfair. It is unfair. But at the same time, since we cannot make people be fair, since we cannot make people be compassionate, since all of us are not wise enough to allow people to live their lives' experiences, then it's upon us as the people who are working on ourselves to not have any expectations. Do not expect help from anyone. You can just ask and hope, but do not expect. There is no entitlement in anything. Sometimes the people who are the first to bash you will be your closest family members or friends. I was actually, when I was thinking about this issue, I remembered about Joseph. You know, the guy, the one with a coat of many colors, the one whose father bought him a coat, made him a coat of many colors in the Bible. The people who attacked him first were his brothers. Just because he shared something, they were the first who attacked him and sold him. Though I don't see a problem with that whole story, because it was a means to an end, because that had to happen for him not to become the, the leader in Egypt and all that. But at the same time, imagine being attacked and being betrayed by your brothers, blood brothers. Jesus was also betrayed by his friend, his disciple. And he was his friend because he also says that, there's a part in the Bible where he says, I'm telling you this because you're my friends, you're not my slaves. So, yeah. Have no expectations. Have no expectations from or for anyone. There are many stories of parents, mothers, trying to kill their own sons. There's some stories in the Hindu tradition whereby a mother gave her son poison because the husband wanted the son dead. So the moment you stop having expectations from people, and then they do something pleasant or something good, or they meet up to your expectations, then you'll be pleasantly surprised. Compared to having high expectations and then they just do not show up, they just do not measure up, and then you're left feeling a type of way, sad or hurt. The only person you can have high expectations of is yourself. You need to be, for me, I know, one thing I know I can trust myself. I know I can believe in myself. I know, maybe I'm narcissistic or whatever, but sometimes when life gets really hard, I just tell myself, at least I have myself. I got myself. Because I know I will do anything for me. I cannot fail myself. Because I remember, right now, it is so hard for me to record as often as I would like to because of work and all that, and some, life changes. But because I promised to share my journey and to help other people where I can and to learn from people, I have to push myself and try and, share these insights with everyone, and so that I can also give an option for people to teach me things, And it has been good. It has been good. My outlook at life is very different now. I've learned a lot. I've made friends. I've challenged myself, and it's been good. So I know I cannot fail myself, but people will fail you. That we know. Even your kids. You will have expectations of your kids, and then they will just fail you, because everyone is unique. Everyone is put here for a unique purpose. So if you keep your hopes and expectations on other people, I promise you, you'll be sad a lot of times. You'll be disappointed a lot of times. And since we do not have to dwell or to stay in a certain kind of energy or to put ourselves in harm's way, maybe one of the things we can do is this one. Do not lower your expectations. Do not have expectations on human beings. Do not even have expectations of God, because this is going to be weird. But I want your input. I want you to tell me, because I don't expect anything. I stopped asking God for anything. I used to pray a lot. I used to pray novenas. I used to fast. I used to attend mass, offer masses for, personal intentions. I was looking for a job. I was looking for a house. I used to pray so much, so much, so much. But most of the things that I prayed about, I still do not have them. I still do not have those things. So I don't know. I don't know if prayer works. Maybe, I don't know. To be honest, I used to I used to pray a lot. Gosh. I used to pray a lot. I used to pray a lot. Novenas, Mary and Dwarf notes. I used to. Oh my God, I don't know why this is even funny. I used to pray a lot. Hey, I used to fast. I used to fast so much. I was so tiny. I was so tiny. And I had so much faith. Like sometimes I would put an intention and I would pray, like believing that this thing is going to happen in the next minute. Does prayer work? I don't know. Me, I stopped praying. I stopped asking God for material things. I stopped asking God for material things. I don't know. I honestly do not know if prayer works. And I stopped having God expectations of God because I just decided to pray the Lord's Prayer. Let your will be done. Because the moment you surrender like that, then I do not have an expectation. When I say let your will be done, he'll just give me, like life will just go the way he wants it to go. It will not, I do not have to beg, because literally these novenas and fasting are like begging and trying to change God's mind and trying to influence him, trying to promise him. I need someone to teach me about prayer. Who can teach me about prayer? Like, does prayer, like where does prayer come in when we say, because Jesus simplified it and said, let your will be done. Like, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. If we surrender like that, like his will be done, because does God make mistakes? So can we trust him and surrender that and believe and have faith that he will do whatever is supposed to happen happens because of him? Then if everything if everything happens the way he wants it to happen, then why are we trying to influence him with prayer? Begging. Because now fasting is like now begging. Novena, it's a petition upon petition upon petition. Why? Wait, I need someone to teach me about prayer. Does prayer make sense? Does praying make sense? Especially praying for material things. I don't know. For me, as at this point, to be honest, I stopped asking for material things. The only thing I pray for is wisdom, strength and grace, to handle situations, because tough situations will always be there, but I want the strength to handle them in a wise way, in a wholesome way, in a compassionate way. That's all. But I don't think I've prayed for anything material and then I got it. I don't know. Maybe there's someone who understands this, but I also do not have expectations from God. Like, if I pray for something that I hope that, I expect that he will answer my prayer. Like, God, I prayed now, maybe it's a novena, it's you are fasting, and then, God, I expect you to do this, and then it doesn't happen. No, nowadays I do not have even expectations. Like whatever happens. It is his let his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It is his will. Whatever he's put me here to experience, then that's what I'll experience. I'm not going to, yes, sometimes I'll complain, but at the end of the day, do you really think you can change God's mind? I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. What I know, I cannot place I do not have any expectations on any human being. On God a little bit, but I don't demand, like if I pray for something and it doesn't happen, I'm like, it's okay, because He knows better. God is wiser than every one of us, and nothing happens without His knowledge. So yeah, there's that. But though I need some input. I need to be taught. I need someone to teach me about if prayer, to talk about that. I need someone to talk to me about prayer, because I don't know. I've prayed for a lot of things. Maybe I don't know why I never got them. Anyway, so can we start from there? Just think about it. Think about you not having expectations from people, how that will help you in not putting yourself in a position to be hurt. And then, yeah, you can tell me more. Maybe you can yeah, if maybe you have a different view. We are all here to learn. We are all here to help each other and to live wholesome lives. We do not want to live lives always sad or hurt. And, these things are beyond us. People are beyond us. We cannot control anyone. Even our kids, we cannot. Sawa. So, anyway, thank you for being here. Share your thoughts. I'm also here to learn. My purpose in life from now on is to try and reduce suffering, that the suffering that comes with, all these lives, expectations and everything, and lives, just life itself. And I'm here to learn, and whatever little that I can share, I share. And I'll see you in the next episode, maybe on Monday. Yeah, I'm posting 3 videos a week, and I've also included a podcast where we have someone come in and they share their insights, their wisdom, and their knowledge with us. And hopefully we will build each other up. And also this is also like a documentation for me, whereby in future I can always come back and look at all these things that I said and see how far I've grown. And it will probably, it's for my documentation also. So yeah, thank you for being here, and see you in the next episode.